Have you ever felt like a fraud? Like you were constantly on the verge of being exposed as a sham? Or perhaps you've experienced a deep, gnawing sense of worthlessness that seems to seep into every aspect of your life. If so, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into the topic that affects millions: toxic shame. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason. You can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok, as well as Instagram. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and Amazon. A catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. Now, if you'd like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Welcome to episode 63, Unmasking Toxic Shame. So, toxic shame is more than just feeling embarrassed or guilty. It's a persuasive sense of inadequacy it's deeply rooted in our subconscious. Unlike healthy guilt, which can motivate us to learn and grow, toxic shame is destructive. It can lead to self-doubt, isolation, and even depression. Here's a quote from Brené Brown. "Shame is like a secret prison. The more we keep it hidden, the more it controls us." Huh. I remember a time when I felt like a complete imposter. I landed a dream job as a trainer for Aflac Worldwide in the corporate headquarters, in the building in Columbus, Georgia, with the duck. It was a dream come true. But deep down, I was terrified that everyone would eventually realize I didn't belong there. I often replayed embarrassing moments in my mind, replaying conversations where I'd stumble over my words or make mistakes. This constant self-criticism was exhausting, and debilitating, and really made what should have been an absolutely amazing experience a horrific experience. Let me tell you about the story of Sarah. She's a brilliant young woman who has always been praised for her academic achievements. Despite her success, she often feels like she's faking it. She's afraid that one day her professors will discover that she's not as smart as she thinks she is. Sarah's fear of failure has led her to avoiding taking risks and to constantly compare herself to others. We've all been there, haven't we? We've all been there. Never feel like we're measuring up. Always feel like we're going to be found out as an imposter. So where does this toxic shame come from? Often, it stems from childhood experiences. Perhaps you were constantly criticized or made to feel like you weren't good enough. Maybe you witnessed a harmful behavior or were a victim of abuse. These negative experiences can leave deep scars that can manifest as toxic shame in adulthood. Here's another quote from Brené Brown. "We are not born with shame. We learn it." Let me repeat that. We are not born with shame. We learn it. So, how do we overcome toxic shame? It's going to require self-compassion, mindfulness, and a willingness to confront our past. Here are some strategies that you can use. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. All right. First one, challenge your negative thoughts. We talked about this in the last episode 62. When negative thoughts arise, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence supports this belief? Question your self-critical thoughts, and you can begin to break free from their grip. There are many times when I go on the beach and I'm on my walks, especially early on, and once I broke free and was cancer-free, and I started taking my walks, I would be saying affirmations and being positive, and all of a sudden I would go into a negative thought. And so I finally stopped and asked myself, why am I thinking this way? This isn't true. This isn't me. How did I get here? How did I get from point A to point B? And I would stop myself and think about it. Challenge those thoughts. Don't be afraid to voice your feelings on these negative thoughts. Because in most cases, they're not true. They're not true. You are strong. You are confident. You are intelligent. You are worthwhile and you are deserving. All right, let's move on. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, even ChatGPT, right? Instead of beating yourself up, offer yourself compassion and support. Love the little child that's inside of you. That little child that was so starry-eyed and wide open and ready to take on the world has, has become afraid and fragile. Love that inner child in you. Let it grow and explore and be loved. Be loved. Connect with others. It's the next one. Isolation can exacerbate toxic shame. Boy, do I know that. This is one of my go-tos, the isolation. Reach out to family and friends or a therapist. Share your experiences with others. It can really help you feel less alone and more supported. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast. I know I'm not the only one out here who feels this way about certain things. And I want to share it with you and let you know that you're not alone. And you don't have to be isolated and you don't have to be afraid, right? But you don't have to do it all at once. Take baby steps, right? Take baby steps. Next one, engage in self-care. Prioritize activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, whether it be a beach or a forest or wherever, or pursuing hobbies, right? Last one, set boundaries. Learn to say no to people or situations that contribute to your toxic shame. Learn to say no. It's important to protect your mental health and well-being. It's okay to set a boundary. It's okay to say no to people. It's okay to say no to people. I like this quote from Kristen Neff. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It's self-preservation. All right? So let's sum it up here. Toxic shame is a powerful force that can hold us back. By understanding its roots and implementing strategies for overcoming it, we can break free from its grip and live more fulfilling lives. All right, so it's that time in our podcast for that takeaway. So let's do that takeaway right now. For the next week, focus on practicing self-compassion. Every morning, write down 3 positive affirmations about yourself. Remind yourself of your strengths and your accomplishments. Remember, you're worthy of love and respect. Write them down, put them on your mirror in your bathroom. Write them down the night before, put them on the mirror in your bathroom. Write them in your phone. I've mentioned this several times. In my phone, there's about 6 times during the day where I get a message with some kind of affirmation. You have to be reminded. There's going to be absolutely the highest of highs, positive peaks, and the deepest of valleys, negatives. And sometimes you just need that little reminder to get you back on track. So folks, let's take action and let's practice self-compassion. It's 3 simple things. I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm intelligent. I'm worthwhile, I'm deserving. Everything I touch is success. I am an overcomer. I am king. I'm a queen. I'm a king maker. I'm a queen maker. Love yourself and love the child inside you. And don't be afraid to be you. Be positive. Be strong and take action. You do that, you can avoid toxic shame. Remember, you're worthy of love and respect. You are worthy of love and respect. And with that being said, this has been the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason, and you can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and Amazon. A catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. Now, if you would like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or a contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. want to take this time to thank everybody so very much. It really means the world to us that there are people listening, people getting something out of this, like our friend Mary, who's an avid listener. Times can be hard. Times are tough, and we all struggle. And even though we're so connected through social media and things like that, there's an isolation there. You don't have to be alone. Let's continue to build a community that is positive, that is supportive, and can hopefully make a difference in somebody's life. I want to thank you so much for listening to episode 63, Unmasking Toxic Shame. We'll see you next time for episode 64. Go be great.